Hey geeks, do you love comics, collectibles, and TCG? Well, here at Cardboard Cave, we have the place for you. Pass by Kapitan Granuja Comics and Games and find all your favorite geeky items there. Look for them at Facebook or Instagram or call them at 787-659-7003. A store blessed by Nicole Bolas. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Cardboard Cave. We are back. The new episode of the previous podcast is already available on the audio format. So pass by, listen to the previous podcast. It was super amazing. I was not able to be in the last episode, but our friend Carlos did. So please pass by and check it out. And don't forget that you guys can go ahead and pass by our YouTube channel. I do have sad news due to some crazy thing that happened to our email address. We did lose this channel. We are currently opening a new one like that. We can put all of our content back, link the new one to do the lives on that YouTube channel. So you guys can still pass by to this one, but the new one will be available, I hope, by the end of next week. Will be available. I'm still downloading all the content like that. We can go ahead and post it up to the new channel as well. So then, and not only that, guys, like I mentioned before, when we started this podcast, don't forget, you guys can listen to us in your favorite podcast format all the time. The show will be live the next day on the audio format, so don't miss out. Like what you've seen today. Today is the new slot for the show. We're going to be doing the show every Friday now. We're still testing the waters. We're testing the waters on this time slot for 9:30. And if not, we'll change it to 8:30. You will be notified via our Facebook page. So don't miss out. But please go ahead, follow us in your favorite podcast platform. Let it be Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Radio, Toomey, and Dreezer, SoundCloud. Go ahead and choose your favorite platform and check us out. And as well, guys, let's go ahead and say hi to all our mages that we are going back to school because, you know, StrixHaven is not a Harry Potter set. But hey, nobody's saying that, right? And we're going to say hi to Carlos Martis. Saludos, mi gente. Hacia día que no entro a verlo. Hey, what's up, Carlos? Hope you're doing fine. Follow him in the Tatonator. He does live streams of Monster Hunter. I don't remember the new name of the game, but Monster Hunter. So, further ado, let's go ahead and say hi to all of our planeswalkers and panelists. And here from the West Side, the director, the one that has worked side by side with Martin Scorsese, Alejandro Orengo.
Yeah, it totally happened. I can't wait for the next bunch of lies you keep peddling our viewers.
Hey, maybe someday.
Oh yeah, no, hopefully.
Someday,
yeah,
you know. And then as well from the West, that he's always late, but you know, he always likes to play those weird ass commanders that win after 10 million years. Yeah, but they do win, right? We got here the one. Huh?
Is it a win?
The one and only Christopher.
Hey, it is only a win if my enemies absolutely dread me and my friends too.
Yeah, I always dread you, sir. Always.
Yeah. And then the one and only master of the cube, the one that likes to play only Black and Commander. The one and only that drains your life each turn.
Mm-hmm.
JP.
Hey, what's up? Hey, Alejandro. Soon enough, he's just gonna start saying, "Oh, you made up the Oscars." You're just
exactly.
The creator of the Oscars.
I'm gonna create cinema itself. I'm gonna be a creator of film.
Oh, that's a great proxy card right there. Alejandro Rengo, creator of cinema.
That would be amazing.
That'd be a cool card.
Then what would be +1?
+1 to all directors. No, cast creatures. There you go.
No. His +1 will be draw 10 cards because that's
I like that. That is fair.
Because that's fair.
-1, draw 15 cards. 'Cause,
Okay.
it's balanced.
Yeah.
And the ultimate.
And there's no ultimate, just a
the
zero.
ultimate.
The zero
Of
says win the
course.
game.
Okay.
Mm.
Yeah,
I like it.
the zero is just pick up your deck and throw it in your opponent's face. There you go.
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah, love it.
Okay, guys. So Carlos says Monster Hunter Rise. He's a monster hunter. He says it in Spanish. I'm like, okay, yeah. So then he's like,
Monster Hunter Rice. I get it. Monster Hunter
Oh,
Arroz. Nice. There you go.
okay, got it.
Monster Hunter Arroz.
Carlos said saludo, Ale. Okay, guys. So before we go to start talking about the commanders, there's something that is really interesting that Orengo posted in our group chat. Is that $199.99 secret layer subscription? Olengo, tell me if I'm wrong. So you get the subscription, but you still have to pay for the secret layers.
Okay. Let's
Right,
pull back.
before that, yeah.
It's a survey that was
Yeah.
given to people who bought secret layers before. I buy them
Okay.
through a friend, so I never got the email.
Oh yeah,
But
I
essentially-
buy mine through a friend as well. so.
Exactly. So I never got the email. But
Big brain.
apparently, this survey started running around like 2 days ago.
Mhm.
Where they were surveying different elements of newest products, if they like it, if they like set boosters or draft boosters, whatever. The interesting part came in where they introduced the idea of what would you do if we created first a membership of Secret Lair, in which you pay X amount of money. There wasn't disclosed for the membership. You pay X amount of money. And you get perks like you get access to exclusive secret layers and you get free shipping. The other idea they suggested, that's the most egregious one that we can talk about, is that they decided to peddle the idea of what would you do if we made a subscription-based model of the secret layer, in which if you pay $199.99, you get access to secret layers a week early. You get access to 4 exclusive secret layers that no one else can get unless they are subscribed. You get free shipping. And you get a 10% discount on secret layers when you purchase them.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. The other option was, what would you do if we did this membership Z? Which the membership Z is you for $99.99. You get all the perks minus the 10% discount. You get the exclusive secret layers that no one else can get. You get to buy them a week earlier.
But for the
And
same
you get free.
price, though?
So for $99.99, the only thing you're not getting is the 10% discount on the
Oh,
on the
for
secret layers.
Which is-
$99.99. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is
Yeah.
Yeah, that
So-
is.
So the professor talked about this, and he was talking about the 10% discount because he found it very interesting. If you want to break even, you would need to buy $2,000 worth of Secret Air products. Mind you, last year, if you bought one of each secret layer, you would pay upwards of $927. So it's literally impossible for you to break even under this specific subscription model. Regarding the fact that it's egregious as all hell,
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like you're paying $199, and then just for the exclusivity,
yes.
Yeah.
but you still have to pay for the
You have to
actual
pay
product.
for. Oh yes, by the way, because it's
That's
not like
the-
it's not a
what?
membership. You
What?
still have to buy for everything else. Like you're only getting a 10%
That's my
discount or
problem.
nothing.
Like
Oh, yeah.
let's say, let's say, how much is each secret layer worth?
I think it
approximately-
depends
It
because
fluctuates
if
from
Approximately,
20
just-
from
just
20. Okay,
approximately.
average is 30. Average is
Yeah,
30.
average
30. Let's say one for each month.
Yeah.
So we got right now April.
12 secret layers.
Let's just say 12 secret layers. Yeah, 12 secret layers. That's around $360.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, let's just say 12 secret layers, $360. If the subscription were like, let's say 300, I'm just saying, like, just
Mhm.
randomly $300, then you're saving $60. Then wow, that subscription suddenly sounds really, really good.
Yeah.
But 190, like $200, and then you have to pay for it.
And on top of that, it doesn't talk about the fact that like you got like your secret layers, and then you have the I think it's like they mentioned like 4 exclusive ones. I think it was
Exactly. So,
So
technically
you're not even
speaking,
like
it's
the money
five.
you're saving technically is just gonna go into the exclusive secret layers
Mhm.
regardless. Because why would you get the subscription if you're not buying the exclusive secret layers? It's part of
Assuming
that.
assuming you get them for free, you'd have to also pay for those exclusive ones.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's
it's-
the part that like
it's,
pisses me off, because if it like includes those exclusive secret layers,
least you
I
can
guess
be like,
that's
"Oh, yeah,
okay. But technically, you're still paying $50 per secret layer. So unless there's some really good stuff in there, and I also think that like having that exclusive product to like the people who subscribe to the service specifically is like potentially dangerous if we're looking at like some The Walking Dead level situation in which you might have mechanically like there is. I'm not saying that it's going to happen if that were the accepted business model, but there is simply the danger of wizards putting like mechanically unique cards in something that's even more exclusive than just the secret layer product. On top of that, it's like it's an exclusivity inside of the the exclusive area. It's like the VIP inside of the VIP.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah, and we have to think as well that there might be a month that they make a super drop.
Yeah.
And then you
Which
don't
happens
want
all the time.
exactly, and that's been happening these past few months. We've got 2 drops in 1 year. You know,
They got a couple of drops.
no, but I mean like the big ones, the ones
Yeah, you
like the
usually
one
get
that brings
like those big drops. We've gotten like 3 or 4 of them.
When you
We have
say
gone
when you say
3 or
like
4?
big
Total.
drops or super drops, what exactly are you referring to?
No, I
though?
mean the one that from like the Valentine's one, that one, the Valentine's run, the ones with the
yeah, that they're
Caldine
like 3
border.
different like
That
secret
is
layers for like
exactly
the one
those
event.
are the super drops.
Yeah, there's
You
been
know
like
that
4
you
of
can
them.
either buy them one by one or you can get the drop.
The drop. Yeah, the whole drop.
Exactly.
Mhm.
So in the drop, you're saving like maybe like $50 probably.
Yeah.
But the thing is that this is still too much money, because then is it a $200 monthly fee?
No, it's
Yearly?
No,
a yearly
that has
fee.
to be a
It's a yearly
There's
fee?
no
yearly
way
fee.
they would
It's still
make that a
egregious.
monthly fee.
It's still
Like,
egregious. 'Cause
$200
it's
a
like
No,
year.
too much.
it's
it's
because
too
of the
much.
privilege. That's the problem. I
Yeah.
was like thinking, you know what, the membership, I probably wouldn't get it, but the membership, at least you get something in return. But the subscription thing, the way they're laying it out is like JP said, it's for the privilege to buy extra crap.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Not just that. I think it's ridiculous. Like in this hypothetical situation in which that like the premium membership fee would be 200, and then your standard membership free, like memberships Z is what you referred to it as. I think it was right.
So it's like
Subscription.
99.
Would be,
Yeah.
would
Let's
be
just say
99
like
is kind of ridiculous because you're
VIP
paying.
and then Planeswalker.
Yeah,
Sure,
it's like-
Planeswalker VIP.
you're paying like to be VIP. You're basically paying like $100 over, and you're just saving 10% on whatever you get. I feel like you just regardless, even when you get the VIP, you're just not getting your money's worth regardless. So like,
Mhm.
I mean, but that's how they get you.
Yeah.
well,
They put,
yeah.
they put this one thing that's really, 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 really low, but you don't really want that because because the medium one is way too high. But compared to that, like let's say if like, compare this in like if it were a beverage,
Hello,
Yeah.
Demidas.
like
Demidas?
the small
I'm sorry.
beverage
Yeah,
is
Demi
$3.
does.
Sorry, the
He's
small
from-
beverage is $3. The medium beverage
It
is
was-
$5, but the extra large
Really?
one is like $5.50.
If I'm not
You're
mistaken.
gonna want that one because it's only 50%, like 50 cents more.
Yeah.
Like you're just gonna want the better one. In this case, in this case the it would be opposite because you want the smaller one.
Yeah,
But it's still
that's what I find
$99.
ridiculous, though. That's what I find ridiculous. Like, why would they make it so that you basically just want the smaller membership instead? Because why would you get the $200 membership if for $100 you're
people would
basically
still
just
buy it.
saving
Because people would buy it for the 10% discount because they're not doing the
No.
math. They're not doing the math.
Exactly.
They're thinking, oh, I get to save 10% on every super drop. So that means I get to save on top of probably the already discounted, you know.
Let's do the math. Let's do the
The
math.
math has been done,
Ooh,
sir.
I'm
No,
bad
I know,
at
but
math, sir, so we're screwed on that
But
one.
let's do like so let's say the previous super drop, I think it was 255.
Sure.
I think, I don't remember. Minus the 10 famous percent.
You don't have time to think, John. You just got to buy it now. Get it.
$229.50 and you get free shipping. But still, it's too much. It's too
Of course
much.
it is. It's
You
ridiculous.
know, it's too much.
It's
I mean,
for
I
for
guess-
the
I guess that
whales.
when you think about it, when you save on the shipping,
Anando says
I
that he
guess-
completely agrees with us.
Thank you.
Everybody that's watching us right now, what you guys think about this subscription? If you guys would do it, yes or no, go ahead and say it in the chat. like that. We can see
if you would
what you
do it,
guys
I would
think.
also like to be, you can lend some of that money over here.
I would judge you. I
I
would
mean,
judge
if you have
severely.
that much money, like
I would
wow.
judge you severely.
Put it
For
put it into the
$200,
channel.
you
Put
can
it
get
into
like
the
a grim
channel.
monolith, sir, or something. Like
Yes.
you could get out. You could get like probably a dual land, like one of the cheaper ones, moderately played or something. Like
Yeah, like
You can
the
get
white red one or the white
the
black one, which are
yeah,
cheap, the cheap ones.
Jesus.
you can even get the gold bordered Gaia's cradle if you want to.
I know you can literally get so many other things that, in the end, will probably end up costing more in the long run than a secret layer, because a secret layer has a ceiling, no matter
Mhm.
what, you know.
Exactly, and it depends on the popularity of the cards that are in the
And
sacred
the
layer.
popularity. Yep. Yep.
You know, let's put it this way: the extra life one, the extra life had collected company,
That was a good one.
amulet of vigor, consecrated sphinx, and
Mhm.
the most popular card right now that is Teferi's protection for commander.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
Mhm.
so if you get popular cards in the drop, then people will be excited because
Mhm.
you're getting premium products that have an alternate art that you won't see no more.
Mhm.
You know, let's put it on the Black History Month. You got the Teferi's Hero of Dominaria, a second full printed art Teferi than the previous one that came out, and that means that there's only two of them on the market. One of them is a little bit much more flexible to get because that one that one was I think it was a San Diego Comic Con exclusive, but a lot of people bought it.
Yeah.
And as well, Wizard of the Coast stuck with a bunch because not a lot of people bought them because they were expensive as heck. You
Mhm.
know, you were getting a draft box to have exclusive planeswalkers in the booster pack. That's it.
Yep.
So, you know, it's really sad that Wizard of the Coast is trying to test so many horrendous ideas, we could say.
I mean, I guess at least they're asking, you know what I mean?
Oh,
And they're
I
just not
know.
like announcing. That's the only like upside to this all.
Sure.
The only thing that just pisses me off, and of course, it's not a Cardboard Cave podcast if I don't complain about card quality. Man, if you're telling me that you're going to offer this new premium service or whatever, and that this means that since you have more money, you're going to improve like product quality and you like make that promise, you know what? I might even like think about it, might even bite. But if we keep receiving these kinds of products from Wizards of the Coast, I showed John and JP this earlier. Like I recently bought some cards and this came in the mail from TCG Player Direct.
Mhm.
It is a foil Angel of Destinies, and I don't know, I haven't even like flipped it yet, and you can already see that you like already know that it's bent. This is how it's coming. It's coming curled in the mail
Mhm.
from like a like like TCG Direct. When you order from them, it's supposed to be like a guarantee of like quality, whatever. And I understand that it's something that's not TCG's fault, but that's exactly my problem, knowing that it's not TCG's fault and that it's just Wizards cranking out worse and worse product with each set.
Yeah.
Yep.
And now they're just going to be asking for more money without guaranteeing that we're going to have a better product. I can't I can't consciously make the decision to pay more money for the same garbage.
And then you remember that you were that Chris, you mentioned something about the mechanics, correct?
Mm,
The
what
mechanics
exactly?
for for Secret Lair.
Mechanically unique cards.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
okay.
So I wanted to check in Mythic Spoiler.
Mhm.
And I put it by date,
Okay.
and then I found this. I'm gonna share the screen,
at
even
least
though
that-
I'm gonna share
that
the
I
screen
know of.
anyway for the commanders.
Oh,
But
yeah.
then I noticed this little puppy.
The three cards. I know. I think I know the three cards you're going to
Yeah.
mention.
Okay, I don't know why this did not share my. Okay, there we go. It took a little while. There we go.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
the
three.
Heroes of
Those
the
three
Realm?
cards. Yeah, those don't count as proper.
They don't.
Like,
No, they're not. They're cards they give to WotC employees.
Oh, okay.
Oh, those are the Heroes of the Realm cards. Okay.
Although, if you do not know this context and you literally read Keeper of the Secret Lair, you'll freak the fuck out.
Yeah,
Oh,
Keeper,
yeah.
you may cast secret layer spells as though they had flash, and then
That's
secret
ridiculous,
layer
man.
spells you cast cost one less to cast.
I sent that to Fabiola without any context, and she was like, what the hell is Wizards doing? And I'm like, I know, right? It's so egregious. They don't even care anymore. And she's like, oh my god, this is insane. And then I told her, no, it's okay. It's a fakey card. It's not. It's
Yeah.
not real.
Imagine, can you imagine if that were real? That's ridiculous. It's really funny though, because
Yeah.
that technically is the same thing that they were doing with the last silver bordered set. I keep like mixing up the name in my brain. What's it called?
Which one? Unstable?
Yeah, unstable. Which they would have like, oh, you can cast like they would have like conditions like, oh, you can cast like cards with X watermark with like, let's say flash. I don't think that was like an actual thing, but like cards with like the same watermark would have like reduced costs or stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I
And
remember
that's
that.
it's kind of funny that they did that with the secret layer. That would be a really cool card to print in secret layer if you made it like silver bordered and definitely not like
Oh, yeah.
evil and anything.
Yeah, we're
know-
never getting silver border cards ever again. I swear, we're not. Like, it's not gonna
Oh,
happen. I
man.
I swear we're not. Like I think it's like
Yeah,
a thing from the past.
I guess the unsanctioned would be like the last silver bordered product that we will get.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't think-
It
we're
didn't
actually
take
getting
too
another
long.
silver border product. I didn't even
No,
know.
unsanctioned already came out.
Yeah, that was the last one.
That was the last one. That was the
Really?
board,
the board
game.
game.
Oh, that's why I like never.
Yeah,
That's
because
why I
it
never
was
even knew it came out.
five color decks,
Mhm.
and the
Okay.
game works as 2 players get one of each, and we'll get 2 of them, 2 of the 5 colors, and then you mix
kind
them,
of fight. Yeah.
and then you play. That's
the
it.
reason why it cost like $50 is because it included 5 very exclusive lands, basic lands that you cannot get anywhere else.
Exactly. And it was a mixture of like the first unset
Yeah.
with modern borders.
Yeah, it was
And you would get
egregious.
5 non-foil and 5 foil.
Yeah, it was egregious as hell. It's
Yeah.
horrible.
If you were lucky to get it for $40 in your local LGS, and it was
Mhm.
okay.
Yeah.
But if you would have gotten in the 50 price range, yeah,
Yeah.
you're
So
done.
bad.
Even at $40, it's just sitting kind of uncomfortable and like considering.
Yeah,
what
because
you're
it's
getting.
you can't play them.
Exactly.
Like it's
Unless-
fun,
unless,
but I
like,
don't want to
again-
pay $50 for something like this. Like if I'd rather just like buy an overpriced ass box of like one of the silver bordered sets and draft it with friends than just pay $50 for.
I can dig that. Yeah,
predetermined
I can
cards.
dig that.
Unglued. Let's do
Yeah.
that.
Hell yeah.
I can dig
Because
that.
of pretty
yeah.
lands. Pretty lands, guys.
Pretty- Although I do really like the unstable lands though. Like I try to stick every single one I can find into like some of my decks, and they're just so damn pretty. I enjoy them.
Yeah, the thing is that the OG, like the unhinged ones, they look so beautiful. You know that I love the.
They
They're
definitely
made
have,
by
like,
the
a more
same
vintage
artist though,
feel.
so I don't know why I'm. They're made by the
Yeah.
same artist, but those unhinged ones are gorgeous. Even though they're still expensive as heck.
You can get
Especially
the
the
double
island.
master ones.
Hell no, they don't count.
You can get those. They basically monetize those as well. So.
I know, but no, it's not the same feeling, guys. Okay, guys.
Not
So
the same quality of like cardboard.
Oh, for sure.
exactly. So, guys, StrixHaven. You guys have been talking about it, including myself in previous podcasts, and it's really interesting that we see each card that has already been spoiled, even though the whole set has been spoiled. But we see the whole Harry Potter theme in the cards. We know that even though Watsy does not want to admit it, we know that the collaboration was going to be here.
Mm-hmm.
Even with, remember when we posted the tweet from one of the creators that he got like a box with all
Scarves.
the scarves of every school, of every guild and whatnot, and we were like, yeah, sure. That was Harry Potter right there.
Yep. Like
That
we
looks
all
so
we all know what's up.
Yeah.
We all know.
So before we continue to the commander, guys, if you guys want StrixHaven products, pass by Capitan Granola Comics and Games. They have their pre-order already established. Pass by. Remember, you can get any of 5 schools for your pre-release kit. And I haven't spoken to the guys yet, but we probably will do the whole pre-release show again, like we did last time for Kaldheim. So what does the kits include? The kits include the same exact 6 booster packs. No, my bad. 5 booster packs and 1 school booster pack. So depending on the school that you get, you get a themed out booster pack for that school. And then you get the spin down die and your stamped foil pre-release card. If you want to check it out, if you want to try it out, go to Kapitang Dahuna Comics and Games, and with your kit you get 2 extra booster packs as well. So, and then we're gonna be talking about later in the future to see if we're going to do that pre-release tournament that we did last time.
Sure.
Last time Carlos beat our butts, all of us, and he got the famous foil promo pack. So sad. So guys, okay, let's go ahead with the commanders. 5 commanders. You guys have been talking about it in the chat. Some of you don't like some of the commanders. Some of you think that they're bad. I haven't checked them out, so this is going to be a complete surprise for me. Okay. So I was going to do them in Mythic Spoiler, but I checked that in the Magic the Gathering website, they have the deck list. So
the problem with the Magic the Gathering website is that the new cards aren't there, so you can't actually see them. They're on the other side. They say other, so you can't really read all the other cards.
So just literally go to Mythic Spoilers.
No, you can have both of them because at least I have both of the links open, so you can see the reprints on one side and see the new cards on the other side.
Oh, okay. Well, send the link to.
Exactly. Send me the links.
JP.
Actually,
Carlos says just a bit.
I can't find the Mythic Spoiler one. I can see them on Magic Spoiler, but not Mythic Spoiler.
Yeah, I see them on Mythic Spoiler. All you do is just put the date
all the way at the bottom or something.
No, you just put the date. Put the date. Just put the date.
Oh, wait a minute.
Go divide it, sort it by dates. I mean, you can just talk about.
Look at the chat. It's right there.
Yeah, it's right. It's right there.
Yeah, it's right here.
So if you want, let's talk about the face cards and then go by date, because by date they divided it much better than how it looks here. It's kind of messy.
Yeah, by date, I guess. Yeah.
So go by date, but again, the problem
we
is
want to talk about the commanders first.
Let's talk about the face commanders and then
okay. Let me put this in full screen.
Yeah, for the full screen. Put it as big as you can.
Okay.
We're gonna talk about Bob the Builder. I want to talk about Bob the Builder.
Sure, go ahead.
You want to talk Bob the Builder?
Yeah.
I'm gonna get Orsov because last time we spoke that I was gonna get Orsov. So
yeah. So Bob the Builder. He's actually called Osgir the Reconstructor. 2 red/white for a 4/4 giant legendary creature, giant artificer. He has vigilance. You pay 1 and sacrifice an artifact and target creature you control gets +2/+0 until end of turn. Or you can pay X, tap him, exile an artifact card with mana value X from your graveyard, and you create two tokens that are copies of the exiled card. Activate only as a sorcery.
Yeah.
So this card's strong.
Yeah.
This card is fun and strong.
It has sacrifice in it.
Define fun, JP.
It's just strong.
Do you happen to know of the card called Black Lotus?
Yep.
Yes.
Because you can make a Black Lotus with this.
You heard
thing.
the story of Dark Plagueis the Wild?
Yeah, I know,
Okay.
right?
So basically, just looking at this deck, you want things in your graveyard, and even if they're on the field, you have a way to sacrifice them and put them in your graveyard. Red has a lot of looting effects, or in this case, it's technically called rummaging because you're generally going to discard first and then draw.
Ooh, I like that rummaging.
Yeah,
that's how it's called.
That's technically the proper term.
Yeah,
but okay, so you get cards like Faithless Looting, Cathartic Reunion, Thrill Possibility, Tormenting Voice. You discard your artifacts, you draw cards, so you start refilling your hand. That's fine. You get those nice juicy artifacts in the graveyard, and then you just basically it's a way of reanimation. You put them you exile them, but you get 2 tokens. So you you get twice, and you get them back. So the real nice things about Osgir is you use all the artifacts that are 0 cost, or at least not all of them, but a lot of good ones. Urza's Bauble and Mishra's Bauble. Say you sacrifice them and look at the top card of an opponent or a player's library, and at the beginning of the next upkeep, you draw a card. With Osgir, that reads as long as he's on the field and he doesn't have summoning sickness, you can tap Mishra's Bauble. Let's say you look at I look at Christopher's top library. Okay, then I tap Osgir, exile the Mishra's Bauble from my graveyard, create 2 copies, Do the same with the other two, like with Alejandro and John, and then the next upkeep I draw 3 cards.
Yeah.
For 0 mana.
Yeah.
I just tap my creature. That was the cost because I played a card that was 0 and did that. Mishra's Bauble does it. Urza's Bauble does it. I told you about Black Lotus. Lotus Petal. Lotus Petal says 0, and you can. It's a 0 cost artifact. You can tap it to sacrifice it and add 1 mana. But then you tap Osgir, create 2 tokens of it, and then sacrifice those, and then you have a Black Lotus.
Mhm.
Speaking of Black Lotus, Lotus Bloom came out in Time Spiral, and that card, technically, even though the mana cost, it doesn't have a mana cost, it doesn't have a mana value. Actually, it doesn't have a mana cost, but has a mana value of 0. Which is interesting. You can use that term like that.
Wouldn't this part affect it to be done in a player's end step? It says activate only as a sorcery.
You can only do it in your turn.
You can only do it in your
okay.
turn. Thank
I mean,
God.
do you
Thank
need to
God.
do it in any other moment? Like,
That would be insanity.
Why wouldn't you give
you're right.
Boros this?
Or you're attacking
Boros-
me? Give me a second. Let me just do 2 Wormcoil engines so you can screw yourself.
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
Boros
think-
needed the power up.
Look, it did not need that much power. It's
So,
fine.
Orengo,
Just
what
put
are you
like
saying?
like a
So, Orengo,
1,000-year
so you're
elixir and
saying-
stuff like that, so you can abuse it. There's abusable elements. So you could.
Yeah,
So-
I know.
I'll-
Marengo says, if it's not blue, it can't be broken.
There we
No.
go. Keep it in blue. Don't do
No,
it in other color.
Orengo's saying like I am tapping Bob the Builder, sacrificing Worm Corlage, and getting 2 tokens plus the other 2 tokens. Heck yeah!
I
So-
say all this, but I'm gonna buy the crap.
I'm buying Bob the Builder. I love him.
Yeah, it's
I
really
really
fun,
do love him.
for sure.
It looks like a lot of fun.
So basically, Lotus Bloom and Mox Tantalite. Those both cards have suspend,
Yeah.
and suspend says you pay the 0 in this case, and you exile them with 3 time counters. And on the beginning of each upkeep of your upkeeps, you start taking 1 time counter. When it has no time counters, you just cast a spell. They don't have a mana cost, a mana value. So technically, in the graveyard and in any place, the mana value is 0. So you can just tap Osgir and create copies. So let's say you on turn 1 you you suspend Lotus Bloom. Turn 3, let's say for some reason you have Osgir in play and no summoning sickness. Turn 3, let's say it goes on the field. You sacrifice it, tap Osgir, exile it, and create 2 more. Just casual 9 mana. Just 3 Black Lotuses is just especially in Boros.
Yeah.
Sure, there's the problem of what do you do with this mana. Just finding ways on your win conditions. This deck a lot of cheap artifacts, so that replace themselves.
I mean, it can
Because,
make ramp as well.
Cards like Chromatic Sphere and Chromatic Star are basically free, and they would give you each 3 cards. So you start drawing through your deck a lot faster than a normal Boros deck would. I think the only competitor would be Feather, because Feather's just insane. Once Feather gets going, it's insane.
Yeah.
But
Okay, before our next card, Demira says, realmente el mazo Boros está muy bueno, trae cosas muy buenas para jugar. It's completely true.
should we talk about the actual deck, or should we just the face card right now?
Let's go first, like Orengo said. Let's talk about the
The face card.
And then
face
spoiler.
cards
yeah.
and the cards in the decks in general.
Sure.
To
Other than that, Osgir Osgir's just really good value as a face card. It's just really good, really strong. Makes people motivated to play Boros of all colors.
Yeah.
So
that vigilance makes him spicier too, because you can actually just attack with him, and on top of that, like tap him.
attack, in response to not blocking, pump him, kills you with commander damage, then taps and starts activating the other things.
Yep.
It can actually be
equipping
kind of
Ember Cleave
ridiculous.
and hitting for 8.
Yeah, and you can even now that I think about it, even though it's a bit like niche, but you can probably just like build what's it called, like a Voltron deck around him, and just like copy your Voltron artifacts and just stick stuff on him that's like ridiculous. Copy some swords maybe.
Yeah, but the thing is that the card does not say because it creates 2 tokens that are copies of the exiled card. So one of the the swords are not legendary. My bad.
Exactly. That's
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
saying. Like Embercleave is legendary, but like all the other
Embercleave
swords
is
and all the other
legendary,
stuff
yeah.
you can attach onto him aren't. Which
That's
is
kind of
Mhm.
spicy, sticking some
Yeah,
swords
that-
on it.
exactly.
You can also put what's
No,
it called again? Like the
just
No, yeah, I
combo
know.
up and just
I know it's
draw a
easier to
million,
just combo.
draw a million cards, make a million mana. Have no idea what to do with it, but I did all this in Boros colors. That's
Yeah.
gonna be fun.
That's something that Chris would do.
I mean, believe me, I have ways to win. But
This is basically a Darreti deck with an extra color,
Yeah.
and that's amazing.
yeah,
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and talk about Brina the
Sure.
demagogue.
Demagogue. First of all, I hate it.
What? Why? Why do
So
you hate
good.
it?
So
It's
good.
actually it's actually the only good card in that entire deck.
Yeah, that's actually true.
It's the actually only good card in it. It's actually really good. Like that.
Okay,
that
let
other
me- let
card
me-
is actually
Let me
really
read
good.
it again. Let me read it again. Probably I read it wrong. Okay,
No, you read it right.
so it's Orsov and 1,
Yep.
legendary creature bird warlock, flying 1/3. Whenever a player attacks one of your opponents, if that opponent has more life than another of your opponents, that attacking player draws a card and you put 2 1+1 counters on a creature you control. Okay, so yes, I did read it wrong, but still.
It's not
Interesting.
as good as it could be.
I don't like
Exactly.
giving other players card draw.
It's political.
Exactly.
Okay, but think of it this way. You start. It's like you have your turn. Like I'm just gonna leave John. Let's see if he has the same mentality that I have. If not, that
Okay,
I'm,
remember I just saw this card, so I haven't had time to think. But Jesus, like I don't know.
It's a crappy political card, John.
Yeah,
That's all
it
you need to
is.
say.
It is.
If you
You
like
can do-
political, Warsaw. I
You would
don't.
have like all these like what's it called the 2-drop that has
That doesn't let players draw.
no the white one
Well,
that everything enters tapped and it has
blind obedience.
blind
Blind
obedience.
Okay.
Yeah. You can add that. You know,
Sure, I guess.
well, if you want to go,
I want people to hit each other.
you
not
want
me.
people to.
Okay,
Yeah, no, it's-
let me. I feel like
Go
I
ahead.
want to get this away.
Sure.
So
Go ahead,
The-
JP,
the-
because
the
I
turn
haven't had
sheet-
time to think.
the turn she comes in, let's
Yeah.
say the next player attacks the player with the highest life total because he wants to draw a card.
Okay.
Brina, you pump up Brina. She's now a 3/5.
Mhm.
The next player wants to hit on the other player that wants to hit who wants to draw a card. You pump up Brina. She's a 5/7. A 5/7.
Mhm.
Next turn, the other player wants to draw a card too, so he smacks another player.
Mm.
You draw a card. She's a 7/9 now.
Mm.
It's pretty fast. It's 2+1 counters.
Do I get Exodia in this imaginary scenario where everyone's just beating each other and leaving you with a giant bird?
To be fair, if John plays this and JP's playing with us, there's a grand chance that if he's playing his black deck, everyone's gonna be smacking JP anyway.
See, that's a good point.
So you have a good point. As people not gonna mess with people want to probably want to destroy that. But
Yeah.
White has like Mother of Runes, Giver of Runes. You're gonna have forgot the
You're
one
gonna
that
have a lot of
sacrifices and
cards.
gives protection
You
from
can-
colors.
You can,
Yeah.
yeah. And not only that, you can actually like I mentioned, you can make it a very if I'm not mistaken, it's aristocrats. You know, you can go that way where you have these small creatures that drain your opponent as well. That you can obligate your opponent to attack each other for that card draw.
So the recommendation
I'm
I've
sure.
seen, the recommendation
Mhm.
I've seen on EDH Rec is just put a
Teleport?
bunch of white. No, well, let me go check the enchantments. But as far as creatures go, it just wants you to have a bunch of creatures that get +1/+1 counters all the time.
Okay.
So you kind of
then you can
synergize in
do-
that way, I guess.
You
I
can
gotta
use
say, yes.
wasn't it called in I think it was in
Very
Cons Outlast?
Probably.
Yeah. Absent Falconer would be the best card for that.
Exactly.
Like
Exactly.
giving everyone flying just to
Mhm.
swing in. Because remember, you also get to draw cards. The other thing about her is she brings wind, like the deck actually brings Windborn Muse, and you want Ghostly Prison, you probably want Sphere of Safety, No
Yes, you do.
Mercy.
Yes, you
So
do.
so this are, oh, you're gonna attack me, you're gonna have to pay 2 because of Windborn Muse, 2
Yep.
because of Ghostly Prison. How many enchantments do I have? I have 2 enchantments. You're gonna have to pay 2 because of that one. And if
Yeah.
you hit me with something like No Mercy, you hit me and then your creature is destroyed.
Yeah. So you're not gonna be incentivized to hit the Arsoft player, but
Mm-hmm.
it is what it is. Uh,
At least I would check the deck list. It's not a. I think
Oh
I
no!
would buy this as
Don't
a
look
single.
don't look at the deck list. It's actually
No,
really bad.
It's
is
bad.
that bad? Damn.
It's
There's no
actually really
value.
bad.
There's no good value there.
Okay, my question is, guys, is there value on any of them?
There
Osgir.
is
We could
yes,
probably get
and
to that
and the
when we
and the
talk about
Adrix,
deck list,
Adrix, the
though.
Civic,
No,
the
no,
Civic
no,
one
no,
has a
no,
few
okay.
cards.
The red white, the red blue, and the blue green all have good cards.
Okay.
Yeah, they
That's
do.
what I was gonna say.
And good reprints on some of them. You have
Okay.
like $5,
Yes.
$10 reprints, so it is not too horrible in that regard.
Okay, so I
yeah.
guess that Orengo is going to talk about the is it
Sure,
School?
I'll be brief. There's not a lot to talk about this crap card.
Safari.
So, I looked at some decks last week, and then I looked at EDH Rec that opened up. Recommendation is basically you kind of supposed to storm off. That's kind of the idea behind
Mhm.
it. You're supposed to cast a bunch of X spells or cast a bunch of time walk spells, but you try to cast the expensive ones so you get
Full effect.
the full
Mega
effect.
Craft.
Yeah, exactly.
The Mage
So
Craft, I mean.
you kind of like supposed to kind of like use a couple of rituals, kind of storm off, get your
Yeah,
Mystics Mastery,
deal
get
10
the other
damage
one,
to,
the
like, everybody's face with,
experiment, all those things.
Why would you not just play Mizzix?
Exactly. It all
Mi-
ends up being, in a nutshell, why not play Mystics? Because Mystics is infinitely better in basically every regard, except for the fact that if you play a bunch of 10 plus costed mana stuff, you get to randomly ping 10 to a random opponent. I wish that at least you could target the stupid opponent, but I get it because
Any target, just any target.
any target. Yes, I would have preferred this, but I guess part of the idea of it is being random sometimes. So I guess that's why they wanted to do it. And also because clearly all these cards have some level of being nerfed. And you kind of realize that with the other cards that were spoiled during the week. There's cards that you're like, there's literally a better version of this somewhere in Magic's history.
She's Zafai Thunder Conductor. So I'm assuming since lightning comes after thunder and lightning doesn't strike the same place twice,
I
technically
guess. Sure.
it's all random. Take 10.
It should have just said any target. It should just said any target. It's ridiculous that it doesn't. And it's basically just cast a bunch of expos, play it like a Mystics deck, essentially play it like a literal Mystics deck, but instead of Mystics, you play this. But you're not gonna get the good discount that you get with Mystics.
I guess you won't be as targeted as much if you play this over Mystics. Because if I see you play Mystics, I'm probably gonna want to kill you first.
Yeah, of course. I get it.
Makes
I
sense.
get it. But but if you kind of ramp up, so you have a lot of mana dorks, you have a lot of rituals, you gotta have a good turn where you do a bunch of X spells and start like pinging 10 to random people. People might start to notice, but at that point, people might be able to stop you very easily as well, because this thing doesn't have good protection either. And then, like, oh, the scry is cute. You know what would have been good? If that thing said, if it added the effects, meaning, if I did a 10 costed mana value card, whatever, and it did the scry and it did the creature.
You do get both.
Oh, you do get both?
You get all the effects at the same time.
Scry,
Always.
if that
Yeah,
spell,
if that spell's mana value is 5 or greater.
Actually, that
So
makes
you get all the effects stack.
I don't draw.
It's still not that great.
I don't draw though. Like it'd be nice if you could scry and draw, but I get it because you'd just be storming like a maniac and drawing cards with a lot of like cantrips. So I understand that too. I'm not crazy, but it's like they clearly nerfed it. And when you see the other cards that were spoiled, they're all freaking horrible. So I'm done.
Okay.
That's it. I don't want to.
So Chris, you're gonna talk about Adrix and Neff, the twin casters.
Yep.
First off, not even speaking about the card itself yet, I was actually watching some videos and like reading some stuff on like the lore of each of these characters. And Adrix and Nev, I really did enjoy. They're like, they're supposed to be like these like professors that got the privilege to teach together because they're like these renowned like heroes basically that saved their whole city from like the tsunami deal. And that alone just makes me want to play him. They're blue-green merfolk wizards. I enjoy blue-green merfolk, even though it's like the nerfed version of merfolk in general.
Mhm.
Their static ability, or what's it called? Not static. That has
Ward.
another name to it. Yeah, the ward ability, but there's like a name
It's
for that. Whatever.
evergreen now.
There we
Yeah.
go. That's like the evergreen mechanic that's popping up.
Yep.
Ward 2. Even though hexproof and
Hexproof
Shroud.
is oppressive.
are definitely better, I personally enjoy Ward just because it's a tax instead of an absolute do not, and I enjoy like just people looking at me like, why are you making me pay more? And the marvelous effect. So this comes down for 2, 1 green, 1 blue. That's 4. And it has Ward 2. It is a legendary creature, merfolk wizard. If you have 1 or more tokens that would be created under your control, you make twice that many tokens instead.
Broken.
Yes, it's just what's it called? It's a freaking
Parallel
Well,
lives on a stick.
parallel lives,
on a
not
stick.
doubling season, because doubling
Yeah, no.
season has counters too. But
See,
it's
more
a parallel
broken.
lives on a stick. I enjoy like just being able to say X card on a stick. That enough makes it like a great card for me.
Yeah.
And it makes tokens. Like if there's another thing that I like other than just annoying the table in general, tokens. I enjoy making lots of buddies. I'm just really excited about this. I want to make a 5-color token deck with like the base that I already have. It's just so much fun. There's like not much to say about this in the sense that there's just so many combos and things you can pull off with just being able to duplicate tokens that it's ridiculous.
Helm of the Host is the first one that came to mind. That
Right, I know.
people just attach it to Adrix. They create 2 copies. Those create 6. Those create 1,000,000 eventually. Like this, just
Yeah, you go insane.
I mean, sure, that's 9. Like that's like a 9 to 12 mana play because you need to
but
play
is
these,
that even a problem?
play the other one, and then equip. Yes, it can become a problem because people will, you're playing this card. If you're gonna play this card, know that you're gonna either die immediately,
Yeah.
Or be countered by Orengo all the time.
no, you're probably public enemy number 1. Like
Yeah.
this is the type of deck that just makes you a target.
Yeah.
Yep.
But it's just so strong if you actually manage to not be the target.
Mhm.
They're like if another player is playing Atraxa and you're playing this, it's kind of hard to choose between them.
Yeah.
This is more explosive, but Atraxa has so much inevitability.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, I would personally choose gunning for Atraxa because I've just had so many experiences with Atraxa. Actually, one of my friends, Gabriel, he would always be talking about how like if an Atraxa deck comes into the table, we are taking it the fuck out.
Yeah.
For that
Yeah.
same reason.
That is completely true.
I
That
just
is
don't.
completely true.
I just don't like to deal like if you bring an Atraxa deck to the table and I see you not playing Super Friends, I'll be like, I mean, he's dangerous. I'll still like keep my eye on him, but it's okay. But once in a Atraxa deck, I automatically I know he's playing Planeswalkers. It's like it's over, man. I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to deal with Super Friends. No one likes to deal with Super Friends. Not against it.
No.
You hear that, John? You're dead.
Well, last game that we had for Commander, I couldn't play.
I know.
Counter, destroy.
Counter,
destroy.
Counter destroy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was then in a corner of the table collecting gates. Like so the final card is Willow Dusk Ascenseer. Is Golgari and 1.
Complain about it collectively.
Sure.
Legendary creature Dryad Druid. Pay 1 tap, choose another target creature, put a number of 1/1 counters on it equal to the amount of life you gained this turn or the amount of life you lost this turn. Whichever is greater, activate only as a sorcery, and it's a 3/3.
It's so bad. Okay, again, I understand Osgir needed that activate only as a sorcery, so he wouldn't become broken because you can actively get so many combos with this.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But Willow Dust did not need it. It could have been a good combat trick.
Yeah.
Because now I have to block, and then you block, and okay, fine, I don't activate, or I do activate and pump the creature and make it survive. Because it actually has a previous requirement. It's not like you can tap her and just get stuff.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You have to actually work for it.
So this card, when you see the spoilers for the Golgari deck, you understand why it's written like that and the effects that it has. You're like, okay, I get it, because the deck is based on life gain, very, very, very specifically based on life gain. So within the context of the deck itself, and maybe if you add a bunch of black cards and green cards and Golgari cards that you gain life with, you can make something interesting out of it. And I'm being generous because sincerely, even the cards spoiled in the Golgari deck are freaking terrible.
They're
Because
very
they're all
synergistic, though.
They're very
I'll give them
synergistic.
that.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
not good,
Like
but they're
if you
very
if
synergistic.
you play them all out of the box, this would probably be like in the top 3, top 2, maybe, because it's so hyper synergistic. Because it doesn't do like two themes that most of the other decks do. They kind of divide a little bit into themes.
Yeah.
This is very like everything's life gain. Everything's life gain or a stupid pest, which gains you life. So it's token synergy, which all the tokens that you get are pest tokens that gain you life, and every other card just gains you life. And they all do really wacky effects when you gain life.
Like which reminds me, want to talk about Guillaume, or however you want to pronounce that name, Master Chef.
We can start to that one.
That's a fun card. It's not
That's
good,
fun.
Isn't
but
it
it's a
Yom?
fun card.
It's a fun
Guillaume,
card.
Yom or
Yom,
Guillaume? I'm not sure.
Yo, Master
Yom-
Chef,
Yom would actually
Golgari,
sound really
2
nice. It's like Yom.
legendary creature, troll, warlock, trample. At the beginning of your end step, create a number of food tokens equal to the number of non-token creatures you had enter the battlefield under your control this turn. Pay 1, sacrifice a food. Target creature gains indestructible until end of turn. Tap it.
okay.
And it's a 5/3.
What I want to talk about that is
Kench.
a full on reanimation spell can get you suddenly. Sorry, let's say you have him in the graveyard with a bunch of other creatures. Let's say five other creatures. You reanimate all of them. He enters, and they all enter. So all of them entered. You get 6 food tokens all of a sudden, and the end step. It's pretty good. You choose. You get spells like the ones that cheat things into play, and the more you cheat into play, because you want to play as many things as possible, but all you're getting is food, and there's not much you can do with food.
Yeah.
So
can eat
It gives it good utility. It protects your other creatures from another board wipe that potentially is gonna hit you on the table when you keep reanimating shit every other
Yeah.
turn.
I
So it's
mean,
pretty good.
yeah, but other than that, like there's no clear way of what you want to do to win.
No, yeah,
want
no, this is
something-
not a
so-
commander. This is you kind of something that you kind of stick in.
But I would make him as commander just for something fun. But like
Yeah.
that's it. It's fun. It's not like I'm gonna make him to win all the time. I'm gonna make him to
Not
do this one
easy.
thing. And oh look, I played 20 creatures this turn. 20 food tokens entered this turn.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, there's a because of Meriden Besiege, there's black and green cards that care about artifacts. So there's a few cards that could really affect and benefit from this type of effect.
Mhm.
But other than that, like I don't see how you win. I guess a sanguine bond, and you start cracking those food tokens to gain life.
Yeah.
That can help.
I don't really know any other artifact based, because there's the fact that food tokens are artifacts.
Mhm.
Sure.
But this deck, just other than Guillaume, this deck was kind of a disappointment for me.
Also, like, why does Guillaume even have trample?
Because he's a 5/3, but then I guess
Because he's a chef. He's a master chef. He's Gordon Ramsay. Let him be.
He'll trample you, and like once he starts running his mouth or something. Like,
Exactly.
Sure.
no,
Haven't
you
seen
you
him
can't
make
get in the
people
way in the
cry?
kitchen.
Yeah.
You can't get in the way in the kitchen. He'll just run you over.
Yeah.
So I've read some of the cards. This is bad.
Yeah, it's not that good.
No, they're not.
6 mana, 4/6.
Yadora's pretty okay.
Which
Which
one?
one?
Yadora, that one, like Grave Gardener.
Yadora's interesting. I'll
Yes.
give you that
5
much.
mana.
Mhm.
It's
Whenever another
reanimation.
non-creature
Mhm.
token you control dies, you may return it to the battlefield face down under its owner's control, and it's a forest land.
Yeah.
So
It's-
the first thing I
wait a
thought
minute.
about that
Wait.
was
With just the
Cadena.
Is it still like a creature, or is it
No.
just
Oh,
It,
it's a
it has
land.
no
It's a
other
land.
types or
Yeah,
abilities.
but
Oh.
Cadena
Yeah.
lets you flip.
Mm-hmm.
So
Which-
that's kind of
which one?
interesting. Cadena Slinking Sorceress is from a few commanders ago. I'm not sure if it was
Oh,
last
okay.
or like a few commander sets ago. She's the morph commander, and I'm not sure if you can still flip the cards because they're flipped.
Yeah.
Even if they're lands, they're upside down, so you can flip them
Okay.
and get them back.
If
I'm
you
pretty
wanna-
sure that's how it works.
If you want to get spicy, you can also put the Dominaria green card, the one that
Gets
gets
plus
boosted.
1/+1 for each land.
Yeah, that could be another spicy card. You put that in the 99 of that card. It's the only thing I thought of when I read the
Or,
card.
or
Yeah.
maybe just make that one your commander and have that thing in the.
But look,
Sure.
this enchantment is not that bad. I like the enchantment.
Mm-mm.
You know, you whenever you gain life, you pay 2, and if you do, you get a 4/4 green fungus beast creature token with trample.
No,
fungus
I like Revival Experiment. That's a good.
That's a
card.
nice card.
That's
This
a
one?
good
It's just
card.
just reanimation.
Yeah,
For
reanimate
each
permanents.
permanent type, return up to 1 card of that type from your graveyard to the battlefield. You lose 3 life for each card you return this way. That's pretty cool.
It's really good.
Don't like the fact that you have to, like,
Especially if you cast it for free with Golos.
Oh God,
Listen here.
stop.
I hope.
What are you gonna
that
reanimate,
if you
like,
ever do
one
that,
thing?
You just don't have.
No, because
enough
I have
money.
artifacts. I can do that.
Okay, so two things.
Two things.
No.
Value.
He's right. Look. There's an artifact, a
No,
land,
stop it,
a
Chris.
planeswalker,
Okay, that's it.
and
Right.
an
And that's
artifact,
being
and-
generous about it. Yeah, no.
But
no.
this one, the Trunch Garden, I actually do like it. Like if you have if it's a token based commander, and then you can add the life gain. It's kind of fun, at least for me. You know,
It's
just
not
saying.
that good. No.
No, it's not.
Nah,
Marshland
unless you have, like, a
Bloodcaster
full-
is decent. And that's kind
Yes.
Okay,
you
before
get
we
to cast
continue,
something for free.
Sure. Yeah, exactly.
As well as Nisa, who shakes the world, makes
Makes
those
them
4s into 3/3s.
There you go.
Yeah, and then you just double the mana because they're forests.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm,
that's nice.
yeah.
And then
Nice.
Denny's Patton Jr. says hi.
Hi.
Yeah.
Dennis.
Hi.
If you guys want to comment on anything that we're saying or call us crazy, you're allowed.
So,
Yes.
do you guys want to look at the actual list now, or do we leave that for last? Because we could just
Aye,
finish
for
the
last.
Bulgari.
Let's
Last.
just leave it
kind
for
of
last.
what we were
last,
doing
yeah.
because is this not the Golgari list?
Yeah. we
No,
could finish-
but
No,
the
but
full
this yeah,
list.
the full list.
All right.
I mean, we okay, sure.
This line looks interesting.
Yeah, you
It's not
give
good,
lifelink
but-
to something
Yeah.
cool.
it
That's what I'm
really-
saying.
Well,
Like,
it's
they're all
target
kinda
commander,
horrifying, so-
though.
No.
Heroes
Okay,
of the
let's
Realm,
go.
and then,
Orzhov.
Hmm.
Let's see. Felisa Fang of Silverquill, Orzhov and 2, legendary creature, vampire, wizard, has mentor. Whenever this creature attacks, put a 1/+1 counter on target creature tank with lesser power. Whenever a non-token creature you control dies, if it had a counter on it, create X tapped 2/1 white-black inkling creature tokens with flying, where X is the number of counters it had on it.
Horrible. Skip. Unless
It's
anyone
not-
wants to say anything.
nah,
Promise
yeah.
of loyalty is decent.
Oh, look okay. I
Oh
want
my
to say something
god,
very
this is
good.
so bad.
They're really bad. Promise of loyalty is decent.
I think if I don't
If it
know.
wasn't because of the 1/1 counter thing, I might
Yes,
consider it.
exactly.
Although
Yeah.
there are like a few things here and there in white that give like a decent amount of white counters, like +1/+1 counters, and then you have the bird that should is played.
This
with
again,
Felisa,
if
so
you
it's-
if instead you can use this if you have a full on like Orzhov counter deck. You know,
You mean
Outlast.
this deck? That's
Yeah.
I'm pretty
Oh,
sure
the
that's
deck
one.
completely is with counters.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
it's kind of
It just
it's
plays
kind of
with-
their gimmick.
with this
Yeah.
deck.
Oh, okay. So let's go. Let's see. You said Promise of
Yeah,
Loyalty,
yeah,
right?
yeah. That one's
Each
decent.
player puts a vow counter on a creature they control and sacrifice the rest.
Mhm.
Each of those creatures can attack you or planeswalkers you control as long as it has a vow counter on it.
That's a really good board wipe because I was like, oh, they get to choose. Oh, wait, they'll never attack me. That's great. So they'll obviously keep their best creatures and they'll never hit me in the face. So that's a really good board wipe.
Imagine casting it for free again with
Oh my
Golos.
god, stop. You don't need to cast everything for free. Stop it.
Heck
Gross.
yeah! With
Gross
Golos, that's the
human.
whole point.
Uh,
If
Casting for
anything,
free.
mm.
The next card I would like to talk about is
Which
Keen
one?
Duelist.
Coño.
Yes, King Duelist, please.
Keen Duelist is actually pretty decent.
It's good. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's
Duelist.
Dark Confident on a better on a worse body. Well, yeah,
Yes.
technically on a better body, but like a worse ability.
Yes.
Okay. So King Duelist is a black and a 1. Creature, human, wizard. At the beginning of your upkeep, you and target opponent each reveal the top card of your library. You each lose life equal to the mana value of the card revealed by the other player.
Mhm.
You each put that card you reveal in your hand, and it's a 2/2.
It's
Sounds
Dark
interesting.
Confident. Yeah, no, it's really good. It's Dark Confident for Commander.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's the type of card I would run in an aggressive deck. You just choose the person you're gonna kill anyway.
Yeah.
Here's a card. You lose life now. Smack you in the face. You're gonna lose even more life.
Yo, I'm noticing that a lot of these cards are really expensive in
5 mana,
cost.
6 mana, 4 mana,
Mhm.
5 mana, 6 mana, 4 mana. Sometimes 3
Splashies.
mana.
Splashy spells. Get it, guys? Because
Jesus
Commander's
Christ.
all about the splashy big spell.
Bold Plagiarist is another fun card.
Yes,
This one?
Yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah, you posted it
Yeah, but
in the chat.
that was because of a joke. But this is another fun
Oh.
card because of the
Please
flavor
tell
of the
joke,
card.
sir. Please
Mhm.
tell the joke.
Okay,
No,
so
no,
it's
it's fine. It's
so it's
three.
a 4-drop,
Yeah.
Mhm.
three and a black, flash. Whenever an opponent puts one or more counters on a creature they control, they put the same number and kind of counters on bold plagiarist.
So then you just play something like Yawgmoth and put 2 -1 counters on your creature, and they have to kill that.
Okay.
That's funny because
Yeah.
because of the flavor. Because you're just copying, and it's just the plagiarism, and just okay. I put 2 -1 counters. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna put 2 -1 counters, and it dies.
Mhm.
Oh, and Tempting Contract is actually a good card.
That is true.
Tempting contract.
I like
It's a
it.
4-drop artifact.
No, that's
At the-
horrible. I don't like the card.
At the beginning of your upkeep, each opponent may create a treasure token.
No.
For each opponent who does, you create a treasure token.
So the reason I feel like it's an okay, it's good. It's not really a good card. It's an okay
Sounds
card.
like
Is because
communist.
it's because you play this. Somebody's gonna be behind, and they're gonna want a token. Because somebody else has a token, they're gonna want another person's gonna like. Oh, you took. So everyone's gonna try to agree to never get a token, but somebody's gonna get a token.
I
And
disagree.
then another person's gonna get a token because the other person gets a token, and then the
No.
other person's gonna get a token because the other person get a token because the other person get a token.
I disagree with that because it's not the same as saying a taxing effect in which you're forced to pay and go behind in mana as a result. Like if they all collectively, if you cast this in the wrong moment, you will never use it.
Yeah, true.
If
true.
you cast it in a decent, like if you cast it turn 4 and someone is like 2 lands behind, they might start giving you like a freebie. But that won't incentivize other people to be like, well, screw you then. I'm just gonna, because it's not, again, it's not like a taxing effect. A taxing effect is because I don't want to be behind on board, because if I start getting behind on board, then the other one
never
is
gonna get
saying-
ahead.
Yeah, because you gotta consider that when you do, like, for example, a Mystic Study or a Smothering Tide, you gotta consider the fact that it feels more like a time walk. You either give the opponent, like the person who has a Mystic Study, a card, or you basically time walk them. Because since you're getting behind because you're paying the tax, you don't aggressively play your aggressively costed cards each turn. So you're running behind and you're letting the blue player go insane. This one, it's cool that it's colorless, so it is kind of nice that it's an artifact. You can stick it anywhere. But it's one of those cards that if the board is really like pretty good, you'll never be able to activate its effect. I feel. I don't know. Like I wish it would have been like a more taxing effect. Like, I don't know, pay 1 at the end step. If not, I don't know, like something, I don't know, pay life maybe since it's a treasured. I don't know. Something that kind of forces them in a corner where they have to decide. The Ink Shield is kind of cool.
I like it.
Kinda.
Yeah,
Kinda.
it's a cost.
Prevent damage, prevent and 2-1.
And then you put a bunch of Dementors.
I do
Exactly.
think
You
that
put
the
a
mana
bunch of
cost-
Dementors. We got Professor Snape here, yo.
True, and that he's
Yeah.
kind of cool too. Like he's a cool nerfed Staff of Domination.
Mhm.
He does stuff.
Yeah. If you're into that, if you're into having infinite mana and just tapping and untapping like a maniac for no
Man, it's
purpose.
so sad that the Orzhov is like, okay.
and then they
Oh.
just decided let's just
Yeah.
give more
Yes.
power. And
Mhm.
we've been giving blue green a lot of power. Let's just
give
give
him
it more
more.
power.
Give it
More
Let's just
power.
give it
More
more
power,
power.
baby.
Yes, please. I need it. I need that Essex for no reason. I just need it because
They're
it's
all
just
so stupid. There are a lot of
more
them are so stupid good.
making tokens.
Okay,
I
I
don't
need
get
it.
it.
let's go
Yes.
I
ahead.
need it.
Yeah, go read
I
Essex.
personally don't even want to talk about this color. It just kind of leaves a bad
So-
taste in my mouth of
so
how
broke.
so strong it is.
Yeah, everything's stupid strong. Yeah,
Okay,
go ahead.
Essex Fractal Bloom. He costs 6 mana and Simic. Legendary creature Fractal flying.
Mhm.
The first time you would create one or more tokens during each of your turns, you may instead choose a creature other than Essex Fractal Bloom and create that many tokens that are copies of that creature.
Yes.
Thankfully, is the first time each turn, not all the time. Thank the heavens.
That's all you need.
That's all you
That
need.
is all you need.
Thank God it's the first time.
Okay,
Because-
I don't know if you've
continue
seen
with
like
the cards, okay?
stupid combo
Oh,
they,
okay.
they had with like
Yeah, let me.
Master
They
Blade.
said that the screen is blurry, so let me check this out.
Sure. Let me go this full screen then. Okay. Well, obviously Essex is broken because of obvious reasons. The only good thing that stops it from being an insano card is it says the first time each turn. Because
And
imagine having
each of your turns.
Oh yeah, each of your turns. So if you have flash stuff, well, you go insane anyways. Or if you put like Leyline and the other card, I
Yeah.
forgot the artifact card, you just go insane equally.
So it's your turns. That's why it's not that broken.
Yeah, exactly. Thankfully, you can't go ahead and put like an insect queen, which is in the deck by the way, and just put like infinite insect queens and go insane. Like it's a really good commander, really good second face card, like second commander in the deck. It's really good. Like obviously the other one is so broken that this one doesn't take center stage, but you could also use this as a commander and it'd be very good as well. I want to talk about Commander Insight because it's basically a better Blue Sun Zenith, even though you can only do it once. But it is still technically a better Blue Sun Zenith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, again,
You could
it's
pay
only
X zero.
exactly
Like, theoretically and draw
theoretically. The only bad thing is you won't deck out you'll deck out with it's harder to deck out with a Blue Sun Zenith because you can just pay 0 and then keep putting in the deck and keep redrawing or whatever, so you'll never deck out. But this one is like JP said, you don't pay the X cost, you just pay 0, and the commander has died 7 times because I'm playing Urza and everyone freaking hates me. Oh, it's 3 mana, draw 7 at instant speed. It's kind of
Instant
insane.
speed. That's what's
Yeah.
insane.
That's
the
insane.
instant speed.
Yeah. I continue because Curiosity
That is
Crafter
the-
is also broken too.
I feel like it's just.
Let me give you a
JP
scenario.
doesn't like this.
Let me give you a scenario.
I like the card. It's just there's so many other blue cards that just don't do the same type of effects.
But the
more
thing,
of the same.
the thing that I like about this card, and it's essentially a binding of Thassa, it's essentially a piracy. I get it. The thing that I like about this card in particular is that it says no mana, no maximum hand size. But yeah, you stick this in
It's
a
not a
token.
creature. You can
I
just kill
know.
it.
I know you can kill it, you can lightning bolt it, but sometimes they don't have lightning bolt, and they'll be too focused on the locust god that keeps drawing a bunch of cards because of all the little pests that are attacking everyone's faces, and they'll be too heavily focused on the locust god instead of the curiosity crafter. So I do like him. He's good. He's basically another redundant card for a type of like locust god deck or a token based strategy like this one, because this deck is essentially just token strategies with +1/+1 counters because they all put fractals. I want to talk about the perplexing test as well because it's a very nerfed evacuation, nerfed evacuation, but it's very beneficial to this deck because it returns all non-token creatures to the owner's hand. So you can have a bunch of fractals if you keep it vanilla, right? Or if you like make it broken, then you'll have a bunch of copies of tokens of broken ass cards you've summoned throughout the game. And then for 5 mana, you do a one-sided evacuation.
And then the next turn, while you're waiting for their turn, you play theoretical duplication. And whenever it's a 2 and a blue instant, whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield under an opponent's control, this turn you create a copy.
This turn. So if they go insane doing stuff, or if they summon like a one good giant creature, it's mine now. Oh, my commander's gonna make a copy. Oh, it's okay. My Sakashima is gonna do something else, and it's just gonna go insane.
Jesus.
So yeah. It all just becomes crazy. Even like
Oh,
the
wait.
replication technique, even though it's a bad card because you can demonstrate for an extra copy, but when you think about it, and I think Seth said it in his podcast, it creates a token copy of a target permanent. It's essentially blue ramp. If you play mono blue, it's really bad ramp, but it's essentially mono blue ramp because you can copy a land. Or you can copy an opponent's good land or an opponent's like really good placewalker. You make like 3 copies of it or something. Well, they'll die because they're legendaries. But you know what I mean? Like you can copy really good stuff from the opponent.
In Paradox Zone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Paradox Zone.
Yeah, but I can't see it because it's JP's thingy. Okay.
There you go.
Oh,
So-
yeah. Go ahead.
Paradox Zone.
Paradox
so-
Zone.
Go ahead,
so
JP.
4 and a green enchantment. Paradox Zone enters the battlefield with a growth counter on it. At the beginning of your end step, double the number of growth counters on Paradox Zone. Then create a 0/0 green and blue fractal creature token and put X +1/+1 counters on it, where X is the number of growth counters on Paradox Zone. Well, just next turn, play it, end step, get a 2/2. Next turn, get a 4/4. Next turn, get an 8/8,
Yep.
and so on and so forth.
Yep. It's really good. It's a bit slow because it's 5 mana. It's a little on the big side, but it's an enchantment that people will tend to ignore until it gets bad. That's the problem with this card.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a pretty good card. But how have we not talked about Guardian Augmenter?
That was my next one. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a 3 mana to flash. Commander creatures you control get +2/+2. That doesn't matter. You also give them hexproof. Flash.
Yes.
It's the
Yes.
only deck that has one of these that would used to be a cycle too of creatures.
It's not a cycle. They've only done one other one, which is the white one that gives it +2/+2 and indestructible.
Right. But wasn't there like a lieutenant cycle? I confused them with the lieutenant cycle.
Yeah,
No,
Lieutenant.
the lieutenant is his own cycle.
Oh, okay.
This is a type of cycle that says commander creatures you control get +2/+2,
And then
and
there's something
commander
extra.
creatures you control have and then a
Evergreen
keyword.
effect. Yeah, an evergreen effect. Well, yeah, this is freaking insane. They have Expert on Flash for 3 mana. We've literally read most of these cards because they're all stupid good. They're
Yeah.
all stupid good. Like even Ruxa, it
Yeah.
makes for an interesting commander because
Yes,
it's so
I
out
want to
there.
build
Yeah.
Ijula with that Ruxa.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
the enchantment that gives creatures with no abilities +2/+2.
Yep,
Just
starting
gives
with
you
that. That's just literally starting with that. And then you can put like a Gigantosaurus, which is a 10/10 for 5 mana, but he has no
Yeah.
ability. So now it's a 13/13 thanks to all the stuff you have. Granted, do remember, if you give them abilities, it will not work with Ruxa anymore. Just so you guys
Yeah.
know. I had to Google that to make sure. But if you ever stick an ability, if you gain an ability with these creatures that have no abilities,
Mm-hmm.
they will not work with Ruxa. But
Like you
if they're
can't
in the
use
graveyard,
like you can't use equipment.
yeah, equipment or auras, whatever. But if they are in the graveyard, you get to pluck them back thanks to the Ruxa. So
That is a great card. I'm not gonna lie.
Oversimplify is also fantastic, and even Geometric Nexus is kind of cool. Not amazing. but it's-
Oversimplify is really good.
Yeah, Oversimplify is a better. What was the Swine card?
Curse of the Swine.
Yes, Curse of the Swine was a X 2/2 X
X
blue sorcery that read you exile all creature cards.
X targets.
X targets, and then you put 2/2 pigs on the battlefield. This one just cleans everything on the board and essentially makes everyone have a big kaiju, depending on how many creatures you had on the board,
Yeah.
because it's oversimplifying. So yeah, it's kind of insane. In green and Simic colors, you have a board wipe. That's not a perfect board wipe, but it's like the best board wipe you can have in Simic colors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, this deck is insane. I'm pretty sure they already sold out in probably a few stores. So get this stupid deck because it's the best deck.
Yeah.
Really, really the best deck in terms of all the new cards. But yeah,
Yeah.
let's skip all
I
this.
really like Veyron.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay,
Let's talk about
Veyron, Voice of Duality, 1 blue and a red for a 2/2 legendary creature, a Freet Wizard. She has Magecraft. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, Veyron, Voice of Duality gets +1/+1 until end of turn. If you're casting or copying an instant or sorcery spell, causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. So every single Magecraft trigger works. We were talking
Yep.
about. Don't you remember how we were talking about how Magecraft is very strong,
Yep.
with specifically with Storm.
Yep.
And there's the Atlas, the wizard that gives +1/+1 to all wizards whenever you cast a spell, and that's a +2/+2. The Magecraft card that says you draw a card for every time you cast an instant or sorcery. But I feel like this would have been better as a proper as a front facing card. It's not as complex or as flashy, I guess, but it's a lot better. Like this is just Panharmonicon for spells.
Yeah.
You can just this is a proper card. Like with enough setup, you just cast one instant in sorcery, and you can just go off. I draw 2 cards instead of 1. Then I draw a card and discard a card. Draw a card, discard a card. Effects start stacking up. Once you cast a storm card after casting a few spells, each one would trigger, and they would trigger twice.
Yep.
And then you just go off. It's actually very, very strong.
And then you smack because
she's gonna be huge.
You smack. You put a double striker, a trample, an evasion card, and then you go off. Yeah.
That's really interesting. That the non-face card is better than the face card.
That happens sometimes.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Are there any other cards in this that
Inspiring
you guys
suspend ones?
The suspend. So inspiring refrain. I was hating on the card because I thought the suspend was 4.
I didn't
not 3.
understand. I didn't understand the second portion. So it says exile inspiring refrain with 3-time counters on it.
Sure. So you're basically suspending it. So what what you're supposed to do, if you don't want to pay 6 mana to draw 2, you would just suspend it for 3. You pay divination cost. In 3 turns, you cast a spell, and then it exiles again with 3-time counters. And then in 3 turns, you get to draw 2 cards, and then you draw again, and then you draw again, and then you draw again. The thing is, it's a bit slow because it's every 3 turns, and as a blue player, I don't think I'm gonna survive past 5 turns. So I might get like one out of this, and maybe that's it. But maybe like in a more casual blue deck or Izzet deck, I don't know what you would define as casual, but you have this type of card that you kind of have it in the back burner every 3 turns. You get like a freebie. It's not horrible. Yeah, it's cool. I turned around on it because at least it's a divination cost. I thought it was 4 mana to draw 2 initially for the suspend, but since I see is 3, and then it just keeps exiling and looping itself with the 10 counters, it's cool. Muse Vortex is crap. It's really bad because
I just read it, and oh god, it's so bad.
Yeah, you're just paying X cost to exile the top X cards and then cast something X costed, and that's kind of it. It's really bad. Octavia is kind of cute. It's very flavorful because it has Ward 8. This costs 8.
And inside the 8, there's 8 number 8s.
Yeah.
So 8 in the cost, 8 to 8, so that's 3.
Yeah.
Spells cost 8 less. If you had 8 or more cards, and then the Ward 8, and then the other 8. So it's 8 8s.
Yeah. It's very flavorful. It's very cute, and it's a decent commander. I don't think it's like the best Octopussy commander or whatever, but it's what it is.
Yeah.
The suspend card with
the other suspend, it's really freaking awful because the problem is no, that's the other one that's decent because it's a ritual for 3 that you get to ritual off the amount of cards target opponent has. So it's pretty good. Yeah, so it's ritual for 2 mana, a colorless and a red, suspend 3, and every 3 turns you're gonna get a bunch of mana so you can cast stuff. So it's pretty cool. The thing is, if you're the only caveat is if you're ritualing, you're gonna storm off now, not in 3 turns. So that's the only thing that I'm thinking.
You could set it up where you want to storm up in 3 turns.
Sure, I guess, but you probably storm off faster than that if you know what you're doing, or if it's a good deck. True. Now we can talk about the only storm card they include, which is also a horrible freaking card.
You say that, but oof.
Fiery Encore.
It says target creature or planeswalker. It's already awful.
Right, yes.
Yeah, that's the part that's awful.
Detail.
So
yeah,
it's a 5-costed sorcery. Discard a card and draw a card. When you discard, you rummage. When you discard a non-land card this way, Fiery Encore deals damage equal to that card's mana value to target creature or planeswalker, and it has Storm.
Yeah, that's the
Wizards,
part. Yeah.
Wizards, don't be afraid to print good cards for red and blue. This could have easily just said any
Any
target.
target.
It could have
Yeah.
easily said that. Just give us a decent Storm card. It's 5 mana, dude. How can I have Temporal Fissure, which I can bounce permanents in Storm, and you're not letting me target people, and I have to rummage, by the way. So it's not like I'm gonna be able to fling a bunch of damage all the time. I'm probably gonna discard a bunch of lands as well. So this should have just said any target. The fact that it says target creature or player is super nerfed, and they were just afraid. They were just afraid of making a broken ass Storm card and make this deck cost like $70 as a result. So that's all that was happening here. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if there was anything decent.
The counter that you reinterpret is interesting.
Yeah,
The counter
it
target
is.
spell, you may cast a spell with an equal or lesser mana value from your hand without paying its mana cost. So if you counter something with mana value 3, you can cast anything with 3 or less. If you counter something with mana value 8, you can basically cast anything.
Yep.
And it doesn't. It ignores timing restrictions,
Yes.
which is very interesting.
Elementalist Palette. I like it because it goes beyond the deck itself. You can put it in any X spell deck. So a Hydra deck or also Spellslinger. What else? Like, what else is an X cost besides Hydra? Is there anything else?
Hydra and Spellslingers, yeah.
Okay, but that's it.
Yeah.
So this is this is the best mana rock for that type of deck. Like, because you pay 3, it's a decent mana rock of any color, like add mana of any color. When you cast a spell with X in its mana cost, you put 2 charge counters on it. And then you can add colorless for each charge counter on Elemental Palette. Use this mana only to cast spells that contain X. So it's pretty cool. And it's not limited. They could have limited it, thank God. They could have limited it to just instant and sorceries. And I'm thankful that they said spells. So at least this can be used in another type of archetype. So pretty cool. If you have a Hydra deck, this is an instant pickup. It's literally your best mana rock by 1.5 miles. And, it's pretty cool. So please, let's skip it. It's horrible.
Okay,
Yeah. There we go.
Okay,
Let's
here
talk
we
about
go.
cool stuff. There's some cool stuff here.
let's go to the Boros ones. Then let's see. Alibao Ancient Witness 5, Boros and 3. Legendary artifact creature golem. Other artifacts creatures you control have haste. Whenever one or more artifact creatures you control attack, Alibao Ancient Witness deals X damage to any target, and you scry X, where X is the number of tap artifacts you control.
I like
4 or
that
5.
a lot.
So all you have to do is attack with 1 artifact and have the rest tapped, and you don't have to even risk anything else. I remember people talking about the exoskeleton. It's a 4 and are equipped like for 4 or something like that, or for 3. It gives +2/+2 and infect, and with enough. Since Alibu is making the damage with 10 artifacts tapped, you just kill someone with infect,
Yep.
Okay.
which is pretty cool.
Okay. Next card. Los Schleen Clockwork Scholar. A white and 2. Legendary creature Elephant Artificer. Prevent all combat damage that will be dealt to attacking artifact creatures you control. Whenever one or more artifact creatures enter the battlefield under your control, draw a card. This ability triggers only once each turn.
Because if not, it would actually be pretty stupid strong.
Yeah. It'd be comparable to Shramp, but you don't want to make Shramp again. So
Yeah.
you get this instead.
Oh, yeah. Is there any cards of these Boros slots that you guys really do want to talk about?
Monologue tax.
Yes. I don't know why they didn't just stick that in the Orzhov deck, because I feel like it needed it more.
Yeah.
It's more flavorful in Orzhov, but I enjoy it. Again, I just enjoy anything that either taxes players or just makes them rethink their decisions for a second there. It's like, oh, I'm gonna do a thing and it's gonna give my opponent a thing. I don't
Yeah,
know.
but there's also the fact. Oh no, I'm getting white. Another mana. Oh, what are they going to do?
I mean, to be fair, at least in Commander, when white casts heavy shit, it's heavy shit. I mean, I guess that's
Yeah.
mostly with angels, I suppose.
Yeah,
But
no,
I don't know. I feel
nah.
like usually when you give the white deck the chance to cast something that's expensive, it's not going to be fun for everybody at the
You're
table unless
playing
it's a new
if
deck
you're
that's
playing
bad.
like in my opinion, if you're playing white and you're playing expensive stuff, you're playing the wrong color. Just
You're
play
not
green.
wrong. Yeah.
Archaeomancer's map is actually pretty interesting too.
Whenever Archaeomaster's map enters the battlefield, search your library for up to 2 basic planes cards. Reveal them, put them into your hand, then shuffle. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your opponent's control, if that player controls more lands than you may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield.
Actually, Battle Mage's Bracers is actually pretty damn good. I hadn't seen that card before when it got spoiled.
It
Yeah,
looks
it's
like
just
not
Scarlet
bad at all.
Witch.
Illusionist Bracers is just better. I guess that
but
gives it
I can
haste.
copy. I can copy like double the amount of goblins with my Krenko.
Illusionist Bracers is like colorless, and it just copies it by tapping. You don't have to pay one.
It's
It was just better. Like the only upside of this is that it has haste. It gives a creature haste.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
for
the-
Krenko, that's amazing.
Yeah. No.
Yes,
that's
but you're in
bad
goblins and you're in
Krenko.
red. You probably already have a million other ways to make Krenko have haste.
Yes, but redundancy makes it funner.
I feel like it's, if I'm not mistaken, no, that's. I think I saw a little engine you could do with Dig-Site Engineer. It was very specific because you start looping an artifact with Ashnod's Altar.
Mhm.
Because you create a colorless artifact creature token with +1/+1 for each artifact you control, and then you start looping the artifacts, and then you can just start looping them forever. But other than that, it's creatures entering and creatures dying, so you could just do a little combo. Again, it's Ashnod's Altar, one of my favorite cards. Of course, there's probably a combo with it.
Yeah.
Most of the value of this Boros deck is not really in the new cards; it's in the actual cards that they bring. The actual deck list, yeah, the deck list. These are just StrixHaven spoilers. The actual deck list is actually really good.
Ooh.
So, if I'm not mistaken, oh no, they all bring a planeswalker,
Really?
and they
Combustible Gearhulk,
really
Sun
they
Titan, Felden of the
Okay.
third Hellkite
So-
Igniter.
Combustible Gearhulk is really good in this deck. Mostly because you want to either draw cards or put stuff in your graveyard. Sun Titan reanimates them. Felden reanimates. Hulk and Igniter is just a huge once it has enough artifacts. Hellkite Tyrant just wins you the game.
Horde Smelters.
Horde Smelter Dragon is a destroy effect and it buffs itself, so it's an okay card. Like I would probably run it in the final deck. Neither PNLR, which is just a token and buffs, along with Jorkadine. Boros is just interesting, but Duplicant is nice because it's a colorless removal that you can double once it's in the graveyard. Mer Battlesphere is extreme value, just how many creatures you can take into the battlefield. Scrap Trawler keeps you refueled. I am adverse. I'm not sure about how I feel about Scrap Trawler because sometimes you want stuff in the graveyard, and if you don't have anything else, you can't not choose to put stuff in your hand. You always have to choose. So it just kind of depends on that in that case. But for the most part, it's good. It brings Solemn Simulacrum, Steel Hellkite. Steel Overseer might not be as good as it was because if I'm not mistaken, the deck that actually ran it in Modern kind of fell off. But it's a decent card. I feel like the Steel Overseer is the only one card that doesn't belong here because +1/+1 counters on each artifact you control isn't that really important in this type of deck. Especially for the theme, Something Gargoyle just brings something back from the graveyard to your hand. Quicksmith Union is an amazing card that I don't understand why other artifact decks that run red don't run it. You rummage every time an artifact enters. Thopter is great. Barnish Heart is great. Meteor Golem is great. Meteor Golem just destroying non-land permanents is great, and copying is great. It brings the Faithless Looting and Chain Reaction, which I feel like it's a very, very good board wipe, especially for red. It's 4 mana, basically Wrath of God most of the time. Because with enough creatures, it's just way too much damage. It brings Dispatch, Return to Dust, and Boros Charm, and Boros Charm is actually quite, decent. Key to the City, which is really good. Sculpting, Thousand Year Elixir. These cards are all good. Arcane Signet. There's just so many good cards for this deck. It's crazy how good this deck is. And also, I kind of skipped over Daretti. It brings Daretti. It just brings Daretti.
It brings clarity. Yeah, exactly.
Like, this deck is actually so well built.
Yeah, this is actually like a really fun thing to play right out of the box. Which
It's really good, yeah.
Mm-hmm. It is. It is.
I just really like Bob the Builder.
Let's go to the next one.
This is another I feel like is decently built. It's decent.
The Izzet deck.
Yeah. So Diluvian Primordial is pretty decent. Maruniha is decent. Talran is actually pretty good. Orengo plays these colors more than me, but he probably wouldn't play any of these cards.
Dualcaster Mage is in there. He's fun
for combos, but Orengo probably wouldn't play these cards.
Yeah, probably.
It brings Blasphemous Act, which is a pretty strong card.
Yeah, very popular card, like in red for Commander.
Brings Ponder, Serum Visions, Treasure Cruise, Faithless Looting. Those are pretty good cards for Izzet. It brings Dig Through Time, Brainstorm. I don't understand why it brings the Traumatic Vision, but it's fine.
Stronger.
Yeah, the Boros is much stronger. The blue, the Boros and the Simic one are the strongest by far.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't even want to talk a lot about these cards because they're just not that exciting. But in retrospect, the Boros cards that are the new Boros cards aren't that exciting either.
Yeah.
Just the commander and the actual deck is actually pretty. It's just really well built.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk about it. I'm just kind of disgusted at how good that deck is. It's disgusting.
Everything is disgusting. Yep. Everything is disgusting.
This commander looks very solid. I like it.
It's so good.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Hydra Broodmaster.
Yeah.
Oh man, I want to buy the living shit out of this. There's so many cards that I got rid of in there.
This is the type of deck I would run. Intruder Alarm. With a creature that taps and makes a token, just make infinite tokens, double the tokens.
Gross.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Gross.
I already have an Intruder Alarm. I don't have nowhere to put it.
No, break it.
No.
Break the card in half.
It's pretty. It's
fine.
it's
I can make the deck.
card.
Just give it
It
to
is
me.
an expensive card. Yeah, no, break it. Break it in half.
no.
Show it to Chris and then just break it in his face.
Just so many
Oh,
good cards.
God.
Shamanic
Oh, yeah.
Revelation,
So
Rite of
it-
Replication.
So it has Rite of Replication. That's like a $10 card, and there's also another $10 card.
Rite of Replication
here.
is a $10 card.
Yeah, I was surprised when I saw it on MTG Goldfish.
What?
But it
Yes.
was really like it was dirt cheap not too long ago. No.
Yeah, but it's called pandemic times, and a lot of these cards have crept up. There is another card.
Yeah.
If I see them by picture, I'm going to remember which one it was. The other one.
Dude, I have like 1 million of Rite of Replications.
Yeah, well, they're $10 until now. They might go a little.
There you
a
go.
little
You
lower.
have $10 million, sir.
Yep, you have 10 million.
If
I
only
don't
that
remember.
worked out that way.
I don't
I know,
remember.
right?
It might have been a creature. Oh, there's a Hydra there in that deck. Which one is the Hydra?
Which one?
There's
The
a Hydra.
Broodmaster? Hydra
There's
Broodmaster?
There's just a normal Hydra. I don't remember the name of the Hydra. There's
A
that
Battle
one.
Gorger?
Yeah, that thing. That thing is like $10 too. That thing.
Yeah, I have a few of them
Jesus.
That thing is
too.
expensive. Yep.
So this is a good deck in terms of value for
I
sure.
want to talk about the Boros deck even more now. God damn it. It's just so good. It brings the artifact lands, both of them, the white one
Yeah.
and the red one.
I mean, it better.
And Darksteel
It
Citadel.
better, yeah.
Yeah, but the white one was like $5.
Yeah, it was. That's,
Yeah, it was.
So
Yeah,
it's kind of interesting that they decided to actually put both. I'm really mad that Champion of Justice is the planeswalker they chose. Really?
Yeah.
Champion of Justice. Not
It's
a
value.
+1/+1, not a +1/+1 counters one.
What? Why would
Uh,
you do that? No.
Champion of Justice. The worst Gideon.
Wait,
Did
which
you
one's
guys-
the
The
Planeswalker in the Simic
actively
deck? I didn't even see it.
worst Gideon.
The
Did you guys-
Planeswalker in Simic, Garut Primal
Garut
Hunter.
Primal.
Really, really,
Okay.
really, really stupid good in green.
Yep.
Which one
Oh,
is
I
the?
don't
Is it
understand
one?
that much, though.
The is
The-
it one is Jaya.
Why? That could have been Rao, the new one, not even the
Yeah.
old one. It could have been literally the new one.
Yeah, but from what I've seen, they're doing monocolored planeswalkers, not dual color, like not anything multicolored. At least on the planeswalkers.
Because apparently they're valuable when they're dual colored. I don't understand. Like Rao
So-
is like a $3 planeswalker.
Again, the actively worst Gideon.
Yeah, that card's good.
Yep.
Like the little how you call it, the
Is it
Knight of
Bor-
the
Boreas
Knight
Chug-
of
It's like
Yeah,
they
but-
Yeah.
keep disrespecting him even in death. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Boreas Charger is nice for you get to look for lands. Okay,
Yeah.
it's white.
Mhm.
Knight of the White Orchid is nice.
Now why does every commander that runs white get Sepulta?
Because it's big and splashy, John. You don't get
know,
it. It's
you-
an eight,
okay,
eight
that was-
costed thing.
That was a huge debate on Reddit. I hate so much how they could have just put Elenda the Dusk Rose, the commander that gets
Yeah.
+1 counters.
Yeah.
And when it dies, it makes 1/1s.
Mhm.
The theme of this deck, +1 counters.
Yeah. But
Creatures.
why would you? No.
But
Why-
no. They had to fill their own, like, this is the what's the four green the 6 mana 6/6
this
trample
deck is just honestly
that they put in every
I love
single
Boreas.
set.
Yeah,
the one
it's
from Ravnica. I forgot.
No,
his name.
the one from Ixalan.
This doesn't have any redeeming qualities.
do not
just
remember
keep looking at it,
at all.
and it's just nothing.
Yeah. No.
Wait,
Oh, oh, they have Ghostly Prison. That's a few dollars.
Colossal Dreadmaw.
Oh, Colossal. Yeah.
You know how they put Colossal Dreadmaw in every set they can?
Yeah.
So yeah, they've put Zetalpa in I think 3 decks already.
Yeah.
What's the deal? It's just a huge big beater.
Because
I know.
oh my god.
Okay.
It's a big
Wait,
To
bird.
be
wait,
fair,
wait,
to be
there's,
fair against towards my own self,
that's a good
I've
one.
died to Zetalpa more times than not.
Sure, but
But it doesn't fit the theme of the deck.
it's just
It's
a
just,
filler,
let's put a
big dumb
big
creature.
dumb creature. Let's
Yeah.
just put a big dumb creature here.
I agree. I fully
I do like that they put Deathbringer Liege
okay.
and Orzhov Advocates because it feels like it's very much on theme. I agree. I like that they put Windborn Muse,
Mhm.
Oblation, and Other End. They could have, probably better Anguish on Making,
Yeah.
but why would they do that? Because
Why do you like the fact that they have Vow of Duty in the deck for no reason at all? Just
Vow.
because they had to fill it up with something? It's in the enchantments, John, just in case. Vow of Duty.
Haven't they also put that in like a bunch of precons, including
yeah,
one of the like commander? What are
'Cause
they
it's-
called? Like
This
I
is
like how the
sad. This
commander
is like
They
precon-
could have literally. Oh look, it brings Ghostly Prison. That's fine, but
Yeah,
they could have.
sure.
They literally could have put No Mercy just for value,
Mm-hmm.
just for to make people want to buy this deck. I mean, I like the commander. I really do like Brina. I really do feel like she's actually decent.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's what I said earlier about her is
Mhm.
like I actually do enjoy what she does because she's like a shitty Edric
Mm-hmm.
in a way.
Mhm.
Like
I don't-
potentially
I
drawing
don't
one
think
card,
it's a good argument for,
3
like,
cards
any-
outside of your turn is.
Mm.
But if I have to say she's a shitty version of another card, then maybe she's not that good.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Were you
Okay,
here it
saying,
is.
Chris?
This
We're
is
saying
the
something, Chris?
final commander.
Okay.
No,
Yeah,
that's
Chris,
all
were you
we
gonna
get.
say something?
I'm actually this deck is just actually way much better built than the Boros one, than the Orzhov one.
I
Yeah.
agree. It's very synergistic. A
It's
lot
just
of,
very synergistic. Yes.
do comply with the whole thing about life gaining and life loss and all that.
To be honest, Willow Dusk
At least they
Assassin.
have Sanguine Bond in it. That's like an upside. There you go.
Yeah, no, because
You want the other one, sir?
the other one is the one that you want.
Oh.
The one that they're afraid to reprint.
Yeah. Can you go to the Mythic spoiler? The moment. In Mythic spoiler, go to April. What's it called? Let's see.
Oh Lord.
I'm looking for it.
No, John,
The last day. Was it the last day?
It'll be easier to just click on the card and send him the link of the card.
April 2.
Oh man, he's gonna scroll down forever.
April 2, and look for the. Just I'll tell you when to stop. Just keep going down.
Like when you're telling your waiter to just like
Keep going. Just keep going down until you reach April 2.
There you go.
There you go. I know lo pasaste. Just so close. Go down.
Slightly down.
Down. Yeah, just slightly down. Keep going. And not one more. There she is. Dina Soul Steeper. Green and a black. Legendary creature, Dryad Druid. Whenever you gain life, each opponent loses 1 life.
Mm-hmm.
This is a better commander
Yeah.
than Willow Dusk Sincere,
Yeah.
in my opinion. For this type
they
of
need
deck.
you to buy the set, and they need you to buy like
Exact.
the
Yeah,
commanders.
you know,
what I mean?
at the end of the day, we all know that some of these commanders, you just want to buy for the cards probably, and then
The only commander I
you
would
modify
buy for the
it.
cards is the Boros one. And
The Boros
Oh
one,
yeah, the bonus
the-
one is amazing.
is packed, and don't forget the Simic one is also.
Oh yeah,
packed.
the Simic
Yeah.
one.
I want the Simic one very badly.
I feel like they were, in a nutshell, they were all kind of disappointing, except for the Boros and except for the Simic one. They're very disappointing in reprints overall. Like
True.
I can't be gushing over a $10 random card. It just happened to be $10 because I'm pretty sure they didn't reprint Right of Replication because it was $10. I think they did it because it's synergistic. But then they were like, oh god, it's $10. Wow, you're getting value now, and it's like they're not trying anymore in terms of giving you good reprints, and that is very frustrating.
Sun Droplet. Why?
The Ikoria one last year, the only good thing about those decks, and it's not like a lot, it was the fact that they included those free spell ones, the free spell cycle, which
Yeah.
made them very good in terms of the blue and the red one. But that's kind of about it. This experiment, I'm not liking it. I don't like the idea of having these commanders tied to a standard set, because as I mentioned in Ikoria, I don't know if I mentioned it in the podcast because I don't know if we ever talked about the Ikoria commanders. I don't like the fact that they're tied to their mechanics from the set. So Magecraft is really cool. If they got Magecraft can go beyond this, beyond the standard set. But, the pest thing, you're never going to see pest ever in your life. Not that it matters, but you're never going to see it. Thankfully, the Simic one is generic because it's tokens. But the whole thing about the fractal thing, like the whole idea if you wanted to make like a pure fractal deck, as much as you would like to do it, it would be like using those decent fractal cards and then a bunch of crappy ones from StrixHaven. So, it's slightly better in terms that they kind of expand it because, again, you have a Simic deck that doesn't really care about having like specific fractals. Instead, it's more generic. It's basically a Parallel Lives in a stick. And you have the Boros one, which is basically the ready deck with white, which is amazing because you're having an extra color added into it. But in terms of the Is It card, that could have been way better, and it's not. The Orsov card is so dependent on the life gain approach. Oh, I'm sorry, that's the Golgari deck, right? Oh, got it.
Yeah, the Golgari deck.
The
is one
Golgari
that-
deck is very hyper focused on the life gain, which, yeah, like you can. There's other Golgari cards that give you life gain, so it's not like a total loss. But cards within the deck are very tied, obviously, to the StrixHaven mechanics, and I don't like it. I don't like this. I liked it for better or worse. I did like it when they weren't tied to standard sets. They were their own thing. Because it breeds more creativity because they are able to push. I mean, we had a morph deck. We had a deck that thought of cycling as a thing.
I do understand everywhere you're going, but I just feel like they, even with tying it to a set, you could just tie the the mechanics or some mechanics to the set and push. Because if you're gonna have the like, let's say even though Guillaume is not the the face card, let's say the decks were coming out in Eldraine and Guillaume was gonna be the green black food token deck.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna print a lot of food cards and food token cards, make them strong because it's only gonna be relevant in this one deck.
Exactly. I agree.
Okay, what else do food care about? Food is an artifact, so print artifact matters cards in these colors.
Yep.
Print life gain matter cards in this color, but make them strong. You know, Christopher mentioned, oh yeah, they have Sanguine Bond, but you don't want Sanguine Bond. You want Exquisite Blood.
Yeah, you want Exquisite Blood.
Yep.
Like,
it's very frustrating. Also, speaking of the Ikoria commanders, what can you do with Mutate? You know, it's tied to Ikoria forever and ever. And as much as you found Mutate interesting, and it is an interesting mechanic, you're stuck with whatever cards they printed in the Mutate, the only Mutate set that you can abuse them. Again, I'm thankful that they made Magecraft, which is, you know, pretty, like, it goes beyond. Yeah, it's pretty generic. It goes beyond it. Ward, it's a nerfed hexproof, so it's fine. You know, having the reanimation artifact is pretty good. Having a deck that cares about life gain it's something that, you know, it's something that goes beyond, which is great. But some of the cards inside of it start caring more about the StrixHaven mechanics.
Yes.
And that kind of like lowers the bar a little bit for me. I liked it more when they weren't confined to thinking about how do we build commander decks based on the set, because that's what they do with the $20 ones. So we already have these $20 ones that do the same exact thing, and I appreciate those because they're lower costed. They print like, you know, three of.
Compare the green black elves one to this green black. The green black elf one has way more value.
Oh, of course.
Oh yeah,
it's way stronger.
Yeah, for sure. That's what I'm saying.
Even the white blue one.
Yeah, and they're cheaper, infinitely cheaper. You're paying upwards of $40, $45 for these decks. You can get them for $35. You know where to look. But you're paying upwards of $45 for, honestly, decks that they're not worth that. They're definitely not worth that. And there's no cards. There's a few cards here that will eventually creep up in value. Like you can kind of pinpoint which cards are going to be like staples, for lack of a better word, in Commander going forward. But in general, man, if it wasn't for that interesting way to approach Boros, and just having another broken Simic card, this would be a super dud.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I can agree on that. Even though I do feel like Veyran Voice of Duality is very, very good.
Sure.
I can that's why I say even though the Izzet is on the lower side, the Boros and the Simic one are definitely the stronger side. That Veyran is like, that's a deck I see you specifically Alejandro, if you decide to, let's just make it, I have the cards, you just make it and then you just suddenly win out of nowhere. Look, I just double everything and just win. That's like true. That's the type of deck I see you, if you ever make it, just getting surprised on how strong it is.
That's true.
Other than that, it's a dud. Like reprints and Boros are great. Osgir, Bob the Builder is great. Reprints, no, actually, I don't care about the reprints in the blue-green one. The new cards and the reprints, I guess the reprints,
some good reprints.
Good reprints and the new cards are strong, plus the broken-ass commander. And you just, Veyran. And then Brina, which I really, really, really like, but like the deck does it no service. Does like you don't it just doesn't.
Yeah, you would just buy Brina as a single, not as a command.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes. I would buy Brina and make her like her own thing. Because you just need specific cards that they just did not want to do. And and Willow Dusk just doesn't feel like the commander for the deck, in my opinion. Just Dina Soul Sleeper is even better. So if Willow just had a different design in general. I don't even care if it just cared about I gain life and or lose life and does
Mm-hmm.
absolutely something completely different, then I would be fine with it. But +1 counters as a sorcery because you gain life or lose life is very much un what's the
Unremarkable.
word? Unremarkable. Yes.
So in the end, we have 2 commanders out of 5 that are actually worth the value,
For sure.
and the rest, well, then if you didn't get to buy those 2 commanders, is the Boros and the Simic one. Well, then I'm
Sucks
sorry,
to be
but
you.
exactly.
Yeah.
So guys, so do you guys have any final words for our viewers for tonight about StrixHaven?
If you're not buying Simic or Boros, what are you doing?
Don't buy Boros.
That's it.
I want some.
I'm definitely buying that Boros because I have a lot of artifacts that I don't use that I just can stick it in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I want to
Yeah.
get it because I used to have a Doretti deck and I broke it, and then I used to have a Sahili deck. You guys remember the Sahili deck? And
Yeah.
I broke it. So
That was a fun deck.
Yeah. But now I like this one better now. So Sahili was cool because it was nerfed because it wasn't like something that people were like actively targeting, except when I got to the ulti. But beyond that,
Yeah.
people were like generally dismissive of it, which was great. But since I was playing blue, there was always the thing of like, like we need
It's
to keep targeting him.
It's Alejandro.
Alejandro
He's playing blue.
We gotta
But
get
now
some-
Flame
since it's
blue.
Boros, it's kind of cool because I only have like Teferi's protection and maybe silence, and that's kind of it. Or maybe a mana. I'm gonna stick a Manatine in that stupid deck. I swear.
I have a red elemental blast and a pyro blast. I'm
Yeah,
just-
I have him
just-
too.
Just put them in just in case I'm playing against you. Is like
Yeah.
no.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, well, I know at you. Haha.
I know. Okay,
Counter
guys.
your
So
counter with my counter.
So we have reached our mark of tonight's podcast. You guys can listen to it. I will try to post the audio portion tomorrow. So, Chris, where can they find you?
Well, you guys can find me on Twitch as ChrisCross13. Again, is still like running behind schedule on a few things, but I'll be there soon. And you guys can find me here on the Cardboard Cave podcast.
Okay, JP, where can they find you?
Find me here, the Cardboard Cave podcast, and hopefully next time you can introduce Alejandro as the creator of the Oscars.
Ooh. Let's see if I get there.
Alejandro, where can they find you?
You can find me here in Cardboard Cave. You can find me in the Movie Guy podcast where we talk about movie news and movie reviews and TV reviews as well. I also have my own podcast called Cinemas Podcast. I'm going to do a podcast next week where I'm comparing the Justice League, the Joss Whedon version of Justice League, and I'm going to compare it to the recently released Snyder Cut. But we're going to compare it a little differently than most people have been doing it. We're going to go in a way, in an editing perspective or more of a filmmaking perspective. We might give some brownie points to Joss in terms of what he had to do in terms of his mandate and why he did the decisions that he did. We're gonna go in like in that little rabbit hole. So it'll be interesting to kind of view these two movies in a different light. Beyond that, you can find me as well in 15 at Richport. I tomorrow also have a podcast called Cine Nerds, where we're going to be talking to Jose Manuel. He is a stunt man from Puerto Rico. We're going to be talking about his movie, The Man from Kathmandu. And we're also going to be talking about the Korean film, I Saw the Devil. But beyond that, you can Google me. Google my name. I make movies. I make the cinemas. I make the things that Scorsese would be proud of. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, guys. So you guys can find me on all my social media as Big Boss 117 PR. I do live streams every Wednesday, and I got to figure it out how to live stream in all of our platforms. So you'll see my live stream as well in Cardboard Cave playing some Magic the Gathering and be salty countless of times. As well, you guys can see me at the Movie Guy podcast talking about movie news, entertainment, and much more. I have my own show as well called Up, Up, Left, Right. The previous episode was a double feature talking about Mortal Kombat. And this month's episode as well, we'll be talking about the new Mortal Kombat movie that is coming out on April 23rd. Then next month, we will be talking about the Resident Evil movie series. So pay attention to that. And as well, guys, if you guys want your custom mugs, go ahead. Check out the Glither and Alley shop. You guys can get your custom mugs with any design that you guys want, your favorite show, favorite series, and much more. Plus, they added more stuff in their Facebook page that you guys can go ahead and check out. And don't forget, guys, if you guys are up for StrixHaven's products, go ahead, pass by Kapitan Kanaluha's Comics and Games. Get your products, pre-order them now. The pre-release kits are available to start pre-orders, so don't miss out. So, guys, we'll see you in the next episode. It will be next Friday, I guess at 9:30 again.
Yeah.
So see you guys in the next one.